Okay, I know what you're thinking. It's been 10 days since my last upload. Did he rage quit? Did he get banned again? Did he finally get a life? No, I was cheating on AB. I was playing something new, something different, something called Delta Force. Yeah, I know, you traitor. I'm ashamed too, but before you unsub, just hear me out. It started simple. Someone in my Discord said, yo, Delta Force is out, you wanna try it? And since I was waiting for it as well, I was like, sure, let's give it a try. So I downloaded it. I was just gonna try it for a few minutes, see what the hype is about. Next thing I know, I hit the highest rank on Delta. It's been 10 days not uploaded. I kept saying, just one more game, one more, this is the last one. But like ArenaBreakout, there is no such thing as last game. You either rage quit, keep on winning, or pass out in some cases. So let's talk about this. Delta Force versus ArenaBreakout. Is it a rival, a clone, a distraction, or just a game to cheat on AB with? Let's find out. Delta Force looks good, don't get me wrong, but ArenaBreakout's realism hits harder. Delta Force got that futuristic looks to it, different gadgets, classes, operators, while on AB, it's more realistic and more tangible. Everything feels real, unlike the banana skin and some other stuff. But graphic-wise, these two games are in two different spectrums, and it all comes down to your preference. If you like more realistic, if you like more futuristic, Oh, and also, we have the destructible graphics in Delta Force as well. When you shoot walls with a tank or RPG, it breaks them, which is really a cool feature most games don't have. So for me, they're both my top takes in futuristic and realistic graphics. Now when we're talking about graphics, we have to consider low-end device players as well, which based on my knowledge, Delta Force is more optimized compared to AB. I don't know, it might be because of the ultra-realistic looks or the game engines, I don't really know. But if you have a low-end device, Delta Force could be a better pick for you. Delta Force is so fun. It's fast, smooth, jumping around, sliding, and it's so fascinating how many different ways you can play the game. Especially in warfare mode, you got tanks, choppers, snipers, you could play as a medic, engineer, assault. You see where I'm going with this? The Delta Force covers a wider range of players and preferences. On the other hand, ArenaBreakout still holds the crown when it comes to tactical, oh my god I just blinked and died realism. Which I have to admit, it is fun, but not as long as you are the one who's getting killed. Just try it for a few games, getting ratted by dum-dums or naked people using high-tier bullets, which even if you get them, you're not getting much loot out of them. And boy, it's a whole story. I'm pretty sure y'all are used to it, y'all know what I'm talking about. But if you're just considering the gunplay out of the gameplay, again, I don't think AB has much better gunplay compared to the Delta. If you're a good player, like a real good player, you can just keep one-tapping people in AB and have so much fun, get so much loot, and you can enjoy. But if you're not, you keep losing over and over and over again. And that's because of the TTK and again, realism. Time to kill in AB is super low. I mean, come on, one tap headshot, two tap body. Man, how are you gonna survive rats with that type of TTK? But well, that's just realism. AB shows you the dark side of the war, which is really painful. Getting eliminated out of nowhere, that's just how it goes. Getting ratted, that's just how it goes. It really is painful. But if you enjoy the pain, no, but if you want the best tactical shooter, most realistic gameplay, AB is at your service. Weapons in ArenaBreakout are cool, we got H4, MK, FAL, but the problem is most of the weapons in the game serve no purpose. We have so many useless weapons I don't want to name because it might offend someone, but everybody know we have a lot of useless weapons in AB. And when I say useless, I actually mean there is no reason for playing with them. Imagine you have reached 50 million in storage value. Now why would you ever want to play with AK-102, MP5, etc.? I know they was useful in a certain time, but now they're just garbage. When you reach a certain level of wealth, most guns, about 70% of them will be useless, while in Delta Force, the gun system is super optimized. For example, in warfare mode, you can use any gun with any modification and it will still be useful in its own way. This difference also might be coming from the difference between the game modes, but whatever reason that is, you can find many useful guns in Delta Force. Plus, it has many more weapons compared to AB. Not sure how many exactly, but I'm pretty sure it is more. Not to mention the meta system, we've had MK and FAL at the top of the chain for so long. What's the point of using other weapons as long as we have these two beasts using sniper rounds while being an automatic? So I guess you know where I'm going with this. That's why I'ma say Delta Force has better weapons compared to AB. Listen, the moment AB came out, I was like, man, that's it. There will be no other game which can top AB in modifications, hundreds of attachments, different builds, cursed ones, and man, I was shocked. But I was wrong. Delta Force was like, you know what, let me show y'all what the real modification looks like. You want millions of attachments? Gotcha. You want to calibrate your attachments and modify your weapon even more? Gotcha. No, but really, Delta Force was like, you think that is modification? Let me show you the real modification. And yeah, I guess we have to take the L on that one, because the modification, calibration, Delta Force really just outdid every single game out there. And also, let me add the fact that when you equip a certain skin, it will also be applied on your attachments individually for each skin. So no more guns with multiple skins at the same time. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but if you're asking me, I would rather have the same skin on every part of my weapon. Again, it might be just my opinion and you might like it that way. Now, if you're asking me, okay, with all that being said, what's your personal choice? For me, AB always was and is the best shooter. I always loved more realistic shooter games, even though they're kinda ruining it with all these skins, but still it holds the crown for me. But on the other hand, it's not like I hate Delta Force or I don't like it. I also love Delta Force because, come on, I've played every popular shooter game. I've played COD Mobile, PUBG, Combat Master, and none of those games were even close to Delta Force. It easily solos every other shooter. PUBG is a money laundering game nowadays. COD Mobile is just like a cartoon nowadays. Even though they still have a lot more players compared to Delta and AB, but it's not because of the game, it's just a matter of time. But yeah, back to the point, Delta Force is still better than any other shooter game in the market, and hear me out, AB really has to man up at this point. Because this Delta Force thing is not a joke, it might take over AB soon, but I don't see that coming. And overall, my personal take is, if I want to play an extraction shooter game, I will play ArenaBreakout, no hesitation, not even a competition, no doubt. But if I want to play something more arcade, or something to relieve my stress or have some fun, I will play Delta Force Warfare. Again, no competition, no doubt. Real talk, I needed a mental break. Making content non-stop can be exhausting, especially in a game like ArenaBreakout where you have to constantly deal with campers and a lot more. And to be honest, I really didn't have anything else to pursue in AB. You know, I have 360 million storage value, hit the top on leaderboard once. I found it hard to push myself keep playing and recording videos. So I wanted to make some changes for a little bit. I wanted a way to relieve the stress of playing ArenaBreakout and hearing sirens and armory and having literal PTSD. A way to still shoot things but with ease of mind. So what now? Am I switching to Delta Force? No, ArenaBreakout is still my main game. I will keep Delta Force installed, I will keep playing it, but only when I get frustrated in AB, you know, to get my morals back. And I suggest you to do the same, cause man, we all know most of the times AB makes you want to scream and makes you suffer, but having a side chick like Delta Force will really change the mood and will spice up things for a little bit. Okay, that sounded weird. So I will keep uploading more, I will try to stream more often, and I'm not going anywhere. Let me know what's your take on Delta Force, what are you going to do about it? Drop a comment if you've ever played it, or you just came here to see if I was still alive. And that was it for today's video, thanks for watching it till the end. Hit the like, subscribe, love you all, see you in a bit.